Welcome back. Joining us again is Dana Trent, and she's been helping us understand the importance of end-of-life care and having that plan. So let's again talk about that and how to help others with that plan, either helping someone you love get it or yourself. You know, when it all comes down to it, who really are we doing it for, Dana? Are we doing it for ourselves? Are we doing it for family members? And maybe that might help clarify why this is so important.
Exactly. My death mentor, Reverend Stim Hawkins, who is a Presbyterian minister, said that the greatest gift we can give our children and grandchildren is end-of-life care planning. And what he meant by that is that when you make a plan, you allow the family to be present with you. There's no tough decisions that need to be made. There's no second guessing, oh gosh, what would Dad want? Instead, it's all done and finished. They can abide by the plan and they can simply be present with you. And a great example of that is my mother. At 57, she had finished all of her end-of-life care planning. So when she was diagnosed with a terminal illness, she had 2 weeks to live.
Oh my.
And we had a party for her. So she was hospitalized at Rex Hospital, and because all the decisions had been made, all the family could come in. We surrounded her at the bedside, we told stories, we played music, and it was such a meaningful time, and she enjoyed it so much because she could just concentrate on being with us and we could be with her. There was no panic, it was just presence, and it was the gift that she had given us.
Oh, that is so neat. That really is. The other thing I worry about is putting someone in a position where they have to make a decision based on what they think you might want. And then, of course, what happens down the road where they begin to second guess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And the answer is that we do the best we can with the information that we have at the time. Yes. And those legal forms are a great start to writing down our plans, knowing that they can always change, that we can change our minds and family can change our minds, but at least we've gotten started on the plan.
Can we talk about some of those forms? The NC Advanced Directives Living Will / Declaration of Natural Death.
Yes.
What is that?
So I actually have that even at 38, and what that means is that if I'm in a car accident or I am diagnosed with a terminal illness that is absolutely incurable, there is nothing physicians can do to save my life, that my husband or my healthcare power of attorney can determine that there will be no extreme measures to prolong my life. Which means that instead of prolonging my life with all of these treatments, care can be withdrawn. I can receive what's called palliative care, which is called comfort care, just making me comfortable so that my husband or whomever can be with me for a peaceful transition.
And the power of attorney, I assume, is that individual that you've chosen, correct?
Correct, yes.
And is that just in health or also in other matters? For instance, your finances, your estate?
Great question, yes.
Same person or maybe not?
That's right. We've been talking a lot about healthcare, but this certainly applies to finances as well. So not only do we need to do the healthcare planning, but also the financial side. So financial side, thinking about will and estate planning. So appointing a power of attorney who can then run our finances for us should we be incapacitated, and also an executor of our estate so that when we are gone, there is someone who handles all of our financial affairs. That is so important, and there are so many people who also have not planned for the financial aspect. And a lot of folks don't know that in the state of North Carolina, the State Employees Credit Union offers those services for a minimal fee. So if you are a member of CQ, State Employees Credit Union, you can go and have that done by an estate attorney for just a few $100s. It's very accessible.
And I know when you're in the moment, you know, the kids will say, I don't care if I get anything.
Right.
You know, but I'm going to tell you something that changes.
It does.
Changes. And that's why that's so important, because you can literally destroy the relationship in a family, and it's a terrible thing to think of that money would do that, but it does, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It can.
What is DNR?
DNR stands for Do Not Resuscitate. Yes. So this is appropriate in cases like my mother, who had a DNR 3 years before she died. If you are a point in your life where you would not want CPR or extreme measures should a family member or emergency medical personnel find you unresponsive. So this is appropriate especially for older adults who are in healthcare facilities, because what a lot of folks don't realize, and I learned this as an end-of-life care chaplain, is that CPR and life care treatments are very traumatic for the body. They are not like they are in the movies. It's a very traumatic experience. And so many older adults opt to have a DNR. It is a legal document. It must be signed by your primary care physician, and it must be on display. Usually folks put it on the refrigerator so that when emergency medical personnel come into your home, they can see it on your refrigerator, and you do transport it with you if you are transported anywhere like a hospital or healthcare facility.
Well, as an end-of-life chaplain,
Yes.
your perspective is unique. And if you wouldn't mind, with the minute or so that we have left, what it's like for you and the difference you see maybe in the individual that does have all this laid out versus those who do not. Do you recognize that there is a difference? Could you share?
There's a marked difference. So in my year as a chaplain resident at UNC, I sat with over 200 patients as they died, and I learned so much at their bedsides. And what I learned primarily was that those who had prepared for their death and who were at peace with it had a peaceful transition. Their families could be with them. There was no anger or pain or grabbing or figuring out who needs what and what's going to happen. Instead, it was peaceful. They could be with their loved one as they transitioned. And that was such a gift for the family.
Well, if you're looking for a gift for Christmas,
Yes,
you know,
the
tis the
perfect
season.
gift.
And I know this is not the topic you probably are going to talk about, but you should at least think about it and begin it by dropping that little morsel. And Dana, what a pleasure. Thank you so much. It was such valuable information. It's given me a lot to think about and probably act on now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Bill.
And thank you for watching. And we hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or would like to know more, visit our website at raleighcw.com and myrdctv.com. And I'm Bill LeMay. Thank you for watching Community Matters. We'll see you next week.